Hello, welcome to part 4 of the Arduino series. Today we're going to look at how to control a servo motor using Arduino. A servo motor is a motor like this, which can precisely move to a particular angle given the inputs to it. A servo motor actually has 3 inputs. You can see over here that is a red, black and a white wire. The red wire is the positive, the black one is the ground, and the white one is where it gets a pulse with modulated input telling it exactly how much degrees to move. This servo motor can actually move 180 degrees. So we're going to control that particular motor using something called as a potentiometer. A potentiometer is something whose direction can be changed. Okay, so what we have done over here is we have taken the potentiometer. It has basically 3 things. One is the one above is going to positive, the one below is going to negative, and the one on this side actually is going to an analog port A0. Okay, so this potentiometer is going to change its resistance as we move it, and that's our analog input. Depending on that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a digital output from pin number 9, which is a pulse width modulated output, and we're going to feed it to our servo motor. It's going to be over here. So the servo motor, the red wire connects to positive, and there's a capacitor across it. I still have to study myself more about capacitors, but these 2 yellow wires which you see are positive and negative, and the green one is actually the one connected to the white wire. It controls the exact location where the pulse motor has to move. So here's the program. We got an input pin A0, and we got an input value and output value. We are also storing a last output value just for some performance optimization. In this case, we can send ourselves a pulse modulated output to the output pin, but we're just going to use Arduino library for controlling the servo motor. So we're going to declare a servo motor, and we're going to attach the servo motor to pin number 9, and the serial.begin is basically begin the logging. In the loop, you will see it's a very simple program, nothing too fancy. Read the analog input and get output. So the servo motor actually has a very nice program which takes the input value, it takes the original range 0 to 1023 and the targeted range. So basically it maps any value between 0 to 1023 to 0 to 129. Basically we are saying that we want the output to be in 0 to 179 itself. So we're going to compare the last output value to the output value. We're going to print that, and we're going to just write it to the servo motor, and then we're going to change the last output value. That's a very simple program. Now we're going to we are going to look at the serial motor, the output log. So here we are printing what is the input versus what is the output. So let's change the thing on a potentiometer, and you will see that. Let me just close it and start it again. So you will see as I change the value ranges from 0 to 1023 as the input, and that gets mapped to 0 to 179. Okay, now let's just look at the working prototype. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it around, and you can see Okay, move this around. Do it with this hand. I think that the circuit came out. Okay, so there we are. So when you change this, you can see that the servo motor moves as my finger moves, and that's a good way of actually controlling a robotic arm or a leg with a servo motor. And they're pretty powerful. They have pretty much a lot of load bearing capacity that makes them ideal for this. This thing is a little bit loose, that's why it just moves again to zero when things don't work out. So that's the simple program, which is to control a servo motor using Arduino. Remember, we are using the servo.h library of Arduino for attaching it to an output pin and writing that thing. So that's it for today. Thank you.